Well, welcome again, everyone. This is me, Nick Michalak, and the hopelessly in love Steve Frazier for this film.
Oh my God! Take me back to 1987. I probably saw it in '88 when it was on VHS.
Sure.
But my very first love starts with the opening 10 seconds of this movie.
He's to be gone in 30 seconds in this movie. So, guys, have your own copy of Adventures in Babysitting, which we're kind of dropping on. We're kind of figuring out where to drop this and figure out. Well, Chris Columbus's birthday is on September 8th, so happy birthday to Christopher Columbus.
We'll talk about him some more
and stuff like that. So, good time to drop it. So, guys, get your own copy synced up to the timestamp of 0. Turn on your subtitles. Well, hopefully you're watching not the one on Disney Plus, because apparently that one is heavily censored for stupid reasons. So if you have your own disc copy, that would be the option to go for. So guys, sync it up, subtitles turned on, get going with a countdown. So in 3, 2, 1, play.
Can you not say, don't fuck with the babysitter on Disney Plus?
I suppose not.
I had never heard this song before.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just, I don't know. She's perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Deborah Hill production.
Oh, yes.
I don't know why she's wearing those pantyhose. Well, I guess she's getting ready.
Yeah.
All right. And she's supposed to be like, what, 17 or 18?
They're about
yeah.
I think Rachel was maybe about 23 at the time.
Anthony Rapp, we'll talk more about him. He's my buddy.
Yeah. But yeah, I was reading up. There are a lot of, like, studio wanted certain people, then they kind of audition different people, other people kind of approach Columbus about being the lead of the film. I wrote there was like Kelly McGillis, who got turned down. Paramount, when they had the film, they wanted Molly Ringwald, but she refused. And there was like Jodie Foster, and there was like just about anyone who was about A-list that was maybe halfway close to this sort of age range. They just wanted to throw them in there.
Right.
Or someone wanted to vie for it.
I guess I didn't realize that Columbus didn't write this.
Yeah, I skimmed over a little bit of trivia saying the thing had been kind of dancing around the system for like, I don't know,
a while?
A couple, maybe about 20 years or something like that, just the idea of it. And got
There's
shuffled
Brad.
around.
So cool.
And that, a piece of trivia I did read is that that's apparently the actual car of the actor with his actual license plate.
Oh, really?
At least that's what trivia says. I don't know where... It says 25th anniversary Blu-ray. There's nothing on this disc.
Oh.
There's no insight. There's no interviews. There's nothing. So I guess there's probably just random interviews throughout the years people grabbed up from magazines and stuff.
He is not dressed to go on a hot date.
I was just going to the burger stand or something. He's not going to the same place she is.
No. She said this is going to be the greatest night of my life.
Oh, yeah.
Which is true, but just for different reasons.
Oh, yeah. She don't know nothing right now.
How can you not just immediately
Oh, yeah.
be in love with her?
Oh, yeah.
Well, of course she is, you dick. All right. Yeah, I don't... So you think that's actually his license plate?
That's what the trivia said. But how old does he look? He looks like he's 30, at least.
Yeah. Contagious. I forget his name, but he's been in 100 things.
I think it's Bradley Whitford, was it?
Yeah. this best friend character is always interesting.
Film debut of Penelope Ann Miller.
Oh, really?
We talked about in Kindergarten Cop.
Huh.
And she goes off and does a lot of stuff afterwards. She's shut up fast.
I have this memory of not really knowing what Tab or Drano were. And
That sounds very teenage.
yes. So, all of these exteriors are filmed in Toronto.
They did most of the shooting in Toronto, yes.
Almost none of this is actually...
The few things are actual Chicago landmarks they shot in Chicago. I don't know, a couple of days, maybe a week, tops.
Yeah, I mean...
Great logo.
What a great song. I've seen this movie so many times. I mean, I can quote most of it. I won't. Uh-oh.
Very modern-looking kitchen for 87.
Yeah, agreed.
Looks more like a mid-90s one.
Bob Barker on the TV there, because...
Without a gray hair.
Which always aired at 10 a.m. Chicago time. I don't know why this wouldn't be happening now, because this is like 5, 6 p.m.
Right.
I have such a connection to this movie that any time I even remotely spill pasta on my kitchen counter, I flash back to this movie. She definitely looks older in that coat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
What a kind of an iconic outfit, though, you know?
Clear still. It ain't going to do you good in 5 minutes here, kid.
Well, no, she was out of brown. See? The amount... there's a...
My Monster Pet.
My Pet Monster in the back there,
Pet Monster.
Yeah.
There are two different versions. The big one and the little one. They slightly rearranged the name.
Yeah, the little... Was it Monster in My Pocket? Was the little one? I don't know. Anyway.
Because I had the smaller one.
I think they were the same. They were just different sizes.
Yeah.
First of all, I was not very familiar as a child with Thor as a character.
It's almost a peculiar choice because he's very unknown kind of, unless you watch the 60s cartoon stuff.
Sure.
You probably have no clue who Thor is at this time.
Right, and I really didn't, but this,
but it's
little girl does.
You're not going to make it Spider-Man and try and tie it into the gag later on. It's nice, some guy dressed in a Spider-Man spandex thing coming down in the garage or something.
Right.
So maybe you could get away with a Captain America and the guy's wearing some kind of red, white, and blue get-up later on.
Right, you have to make it slightly believable later on.
Yeah.
What about them? It's...
She was your babysitter. It's whoa. Hard to keep it together.
Clearly, he is having a hard time keeping it together in his
yeah.
orange sweater. That's
why she looks older. It's his grandpa's.
Yeah. good old Captain Crunch, which is also a breakfast day time. So, like, is this actually during the day?
This is peculiar. Like, why are they dressing up for the ball gala at fucking 9 a.m.?
Right, like, she's eating breakfast, their Price is Right is on. I don't understand what's happening.
Time is warped in this situation. It's all weird in Canada. Doubling.
Well, there you go. It's because we're in the...
folding things up on top of each other. It's all weird.
Haagen-Dazs. Now, was Haagen-Dazs a national brand at this point?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I don't really know. As a Chicago apologist, we will likely...
Some Coca-Cola, some quick...
Nestle Crunch Bar for breakfast.
Yeah, they lay it all in here.
Like, clearly it's got to be afternoon, right?
Yeah, 4 or 5 o'clock at least.
I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh, as a Chicago apologist, I will be able to point out some of the things that are happening when we get downtown, and some of the liberties that they took with the
geography,
with the photoshopping and the
matte paintings. Probably.
Yes. There he is. This is Chicago native Anthony Rapp. Who would go on just a few short years later to be the lead in my favorite musical of all time, Rent. I did not research. The Playboy issue is it's a fake, right?
Fabricated for the film.
Okay.
But apparently, do they show any kind of photos?
No. Well, you just see there's the cover,
a sliver or something.
The cover.
They apparently, supposedly, flew Shue all the way out directly to the Playboy Mansion to get the authenticity from the photographers and whatnot, and then flew her all the way back for the filming, just for that. Little photo shoot.
Because I think it actually is her on the cover, right? Okay. I think
that would sound all from that trivia. That would have to be accurate.
And then, which is why everyone says that it looks just like her, because it actually is.
Yeah.
This guy
this entire scenario is fantastic, and it's so Chicago.
It really is. It really is.
There's a lot of weird folks hanging around weird places downtown.
I'm curious. So the town that the Andersons live in the movie is called Oak Park, which is a real Chicago suburb.
Yeah.
And
it's not terribly far from Chicago itself.
That's what I was
right next door.
I was just kind of gonna look it up. I'm curious. I'm guessing that Brenda also lives in Oak Park near the Andersons, right?
Thereabout, yeah, probably.
And even as a kid, I kind of had a general understanding of geography.
Sure, yeah.
The can of Spam. Get out of my house. I yell, "You just moved," anytime I kick anything anywhere.
No.
He's got a gun. So when they show the exterior of the bus station, that bus station in Chicago no longer exists.
Okay.
It's been torn down. So as a reference, I did generic Oak Park to Union Station, which is the train station, which is fairly similarly located to where that bus station was. And as we sit right now, Google says it's 20 minutes away. So
by car, yeah.
By car. So I think that her saying I'll be there in a half an hour actually isn't that unrealistic.
Yeah, depending on your traffic, yeah.
Now, if it's a weekend evening at rush hour, I don't know.
Weekday evening. You said weekend.
Well, I assume it's a weekend. Why would the company gala ball be on a weeknight?
Maybe a Friday night.
Well, sure, I guess. So I count that as a weekend. If it's a Friday or Saturday night, traffic's going to suck.
Going to Chicago traffic always sucks anyway. There's no good time.
Well, I
Unless
know.
it's like 3 a.m. or some shit. Or anytime between like 6 a.m. and like 10 p.m., the traffic's going to stink. If you're going on the highway, it's going to stink.
I've been calling him Stray Dog since I don't even know when. In fact, there's a restaurant in, well, it's at exit 1 in Michigan, so right on the other side of Indiana, right on the lake. There's a restaurant. Everyone can Google it. It's called the Stray Dog Restaurant. My friend and I specifically went there. We saw the billboard and we were like, "Oh, Stray Dog, Anthony Rapp, let's go."
Apparently they had him dye his hair red because they thought he looked too much like Anthony Michael Hall. I guess, maybe.
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
Yeah.
Anthony Rapp does not grow up to be a giant douchebag like the other guy.
No. You can't get caught in an awful legacy Halloween sequel.
Right. Anthony Rapp, I don't know when, but it had to have been around this time, I guess, that he's the one that has accused...
Yeah, the Spacey scenario.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey of inappropriate actions.
Inappropriations, yes.
So that's the Sears Tower.
Yeah.
Which would not be on that side of the... Well, yeah, I guess it would be on that side of the highway.
Well, I'm trying to think. They'd be coming in, what, the Eisenhower?
Yes, that's correct. They would be coming in directly on 290, which is the Eisenhower.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some of these were shot on the Dan Ryan.
That's what I was thinking. It's probably 1994. They're shooting these highway shots from. Yeah, there's a cover image.
Oh, I guess they do
bits.
show it. They do show a couple.
So yeah, they flew her out there. They had the real photographers give her a couple of shots. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ.
He just littered.
Oh my God. I'd fucking throttle him. Because that's probably his dad's magazine. He's going to ask what the fuck happened to my magazine.
That's what he said. That was my dad's. So... So here she's got the story with the hook. And she's so great at this delivery, right?
Yeah.
And they blow a tire. Which would be scary as fuck on the highway, right?
Yeah.
So, yes,
Especially winter in the middle of the night, yeah.
Rapp says that was my dad's, and that is the entire linchpin for them stealing the magazine later on
So they
from the chop shop.
So he doesn't get fucked over.
So he can return that one to his dad. Turns out,
yeah,
as we'll see, the chop shop has information. So yeah, I read that this was actually on the Dan Ryan, which
it looks like it.
Which is not 90. It would have been 94.
It kind of looks through the grain area. It looks kind of 90, 94 up there. Madison Street.
So they do play with the geography a little bit. They just wanted a good like off ramp. She's on an off ramp, clearly, because you know that's what you would do.
There's no tire.
Maybe it's on the car is a great line. I love Daryl / Anthony Rapp's whimsical attitude. Like, he knows that he's along for the ride.
Yeah.
Right? He's got no
consequence here.
He's a shit stirrer.
Yeah.
He doesn't care what he says, what he does. Like,
oh, Lord.
Brad's jacket says Hemingway High.
Which I believe was another fabrication for the film.
Yeah, I don't think that's a real thing.
No. I mean, just this scenario alone doesn't work these days.
Well, because of cell phones and stuff.
Yeah, cell phone, smartphone.
And digital money.
Right, right.
Like, there was no such thing as a smartphone in order to even have, a PayPal or a Zelle or whatever the shit.
Yeah, Android Pays and everything.
Right. So, I don't know what the company is, but there is a company in Chicago that has a giant P on the front of it.
Okay.
But what they did...
Was that the J on
They put the J on the front to make it look like it's his.
Yeah.
Because I've actually seen... This guy is terrifying, right?
Yeah.
Like, in the best way. Like, he's charming.
Yeah.
And he's got a hook. It's perfect.
Yeah. I was reading something about the DP on this thing, Rick Waite, who was a really good action cinematographer, but he apparently said that he intentionally shot it more like a drama than an action than a comedy, almost like to give it more of a sense of unpredictability, or just give it a different weight to it.
It does feel fairly heavy. Now this was a Touchstone, right?
Yeah.
So Touchstone, I don't know if it was the idea of Jeffrey Katzenberg or not, but I don't know if it was Eisner or Katzenberg, one of the two.
Right.
At the head honchos at Disney.
Yeah.
Who came up with this idea of a spin-off label to create more adult fare.
Yeah.
So that, they could have things that weren't all just cartoons and family film.
Because your Disney, whatever book that was for the Disney Dark Ages, you talk about every so often.
Yeah. It's called Disney War. Yes.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite books I've ever read.
Because people running the thing at the time was like they were trying to throw out all these different films, but all had the Disney name on it, so it all kind of got different expectations for certain things, and they couldn't really put out anything that just wasn't classic Disney and make it successful.
Right. So they kind of came up with a front,
Right.
Touchstone.
Yeah.
That could release more adult films.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess they did some rated R things, but
I'm sure there was a couple things.
But it was definitely the way to do. Oh, handsome John Brewton. It was the way to make Love that shot.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not real sure with the geography on this. The soundtrack is awesome.
Yeah, Iggy Pop here.
Red. They even call him Red. Nam was such a... I mean, Nam is only...
yeah.
Nam was only 10 years ago at this point.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I guess not, but like the 15
The
years
wake
ago.
of it all, yeah.
15 years ago was live in Nam, which as we record this was 2009.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
can you imagine? Like,
Right.
that. They're closer to Nam than we are 9/11.
Yeah.
They're closer to 9/11 than we are. I do like they were very specific, I think, on the production design of their clothing.
Yeah.
In that they're all wearing a bright color,
Yeah.
and they all
You can instantly recognize them.
like they stand out, and they make such a pretty like tapestry when they're
Yeah.
all together.
Yeah.
Right, like the red, the pink, the brown, the green, the yellow.
Yeah.
Like it's all such a rainbow.
Yeah.
The teal.
Another gun. Got some 8 tracks.
Yeah, I was trying to read what it was.
Yeah.
Now we're back in Toronto.
Yeah. It's gotta be.
All of this is in Toronto.
Yeah.
Anytime they show a house.
Yeah.
What a great kid thing to say, right? Like everyone's freaking out, but kids are either like super scared or like they give zero
Yeah.
fucks. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
Love this. It is kind of wow. It is kind of a crazy scenario, right?
Yeah.
And such a movie thing, right? Like they've got
Feels like they landed in the alternate hill valley from Back to the Future too.
a little bit, right?
Yeah. We veered off the course here.
I like that they're just gonna have a punch out in the
Yeah.
middle of the street.
He's literally not hit him with a claw.
Well, he would if he was smart. The the amount of how this has escalated
Yeah.
from tire blowout to domestic violence to now we're in a stolen car.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in a matter of 15 minutes,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, this is such a great movie.
And she's still the babysitter.
It's almost like a break of insanity, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. She can't cope with it.
and the car thief is like totally into it,
Yeah,
which I
he's
love.
chill, man. A mall.
Now, there are really not any malls
I was thinking that.
in downtown Chicago.
No.
So in case anybody's wondering, like, yes, currently in today's day and age, the bottom floors of several skyscrapers do have malls
Shopping centers,
in
yeah.
but when he says mall, he means like Whitfield Mall.
Yes.
Or one of the other, like your traditional suburban shopping mall.
Yeah.
Yep, all of these exteriors are done in Toronto, sadly.
I didn't catch the budget on this one. Give me a moment. No budget's listed for the film, so I made $34 million.
I was gonna say it feels like a under 10, maybe under 5 million.
If you're doing Toronto, you could probably get away with 5,
Yeah.
6 million or something like that.
Right. Which I realize, even in today's dollars, sounds like an impossible amount, right? Like
Yeah.
you,
Stretch it that far is hard to believe.
right? Like you as the lowest level independent filmmaker,
Yeah.
you know, it's like if you were given $5,000 to
Right.
make a movie,
Yeah.
you'd be over your skis.
Yeah,
Like you'd be
yeah.
like, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Great line.
Yeah, he's cool, man.
Why would he tell her his name? She says that like she has the car with her.
Right. It's a nice looking caddy.
Just one. Well, I guess a few.
Oh, he's got the look, don't he?
Yeah. I mean, talk about all these mob boss looking
Oh
guys.
yeah. George Lucas on the left there.
A little bit. I love that Brad's gonna just introduce himself. And the whole fam, right?
Right.
First and last name. That guy looks like he could have been an over the top. Hilarious that he's the spokesman for the
Yeah.
group, right?
Oh.
Nice little touch. They put a Cubs hat on the guy in the back.
Oh yeah. It's a little flavor.
Everybody's signing. It is a nice looking caddy, though.
Oh yeah. No. Little TV boxes.
Yeah, I know. Like, this is such a foreign concept to anyone
Yeah.
watching today. And on the TV is the Brady Bunch, which is not a coincidence.
Oh, she's gonna run away to that. It's all these great extras casting. They all look exactly like they're supposed to.
Yeah, I mean, it's central casting at its finest, right?
Yeah. There it is.
Well, see, he's got to steal it because his dad's going to kill him.
She's such the babysitter.
She really... I always have wondered, what is this operation?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Detroit needs 4 Lamborghinis or whatever he said.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Interstate freaking
Like,
carjacking ring.
Detroit can't come up with 4 of their own? Like, they need to
Got the
outsource...
fucking plant there to steal it off the back lot.
They can't outsource to somewhere other than Chicago for 4 automobiles?
Right.
Cleveland is dead?
Cleveland. Who gets pissed about Cleveland?
Cleveland's still dead, FYI. I love this shot. Like, it's such a...
perfect geography. Shows you the goal and the stakes and the distance you got to go for it.
And also, it's super dramatic.
Yeah.
And look at that team building. Like, really pulls at your heartstrings already, right? Like, we're in this perilous situation. Sarah's the goddamn voice of reason.
Yeah.
Cleveland is dead. He doesn't like the way they've been running things in Cleveland, so we're not going to send 2 cars to 7 hours away. They can't get their own 2 cars, apparently. Even though they had an order. What does that mean?
An order.
What the fuck is an order?
An order. You know what a chop shop is? They cannibalize everything and sell it for parts.
Right. Like, you need catalytic converters or whatever parts.
It's easier to do that than trying to throw the thing back on the street with some fake VIN number and trying to pass it off with something else.
Right. Oh, I love that mustache.
Oh.
He gets the dirt. I've always loved that fat guy.
That's the bad matte painting.
So, yes, that's a bad matte painting, yes. So what they've done is they're trying to do an establishing shot to show that this is where the party is happening.
Yeah. They didn't actually shoot up in the Associate Center. They put together all sets for everything.
Right. And I'll talk more about that building in a little while.
Yeah, we got a long time to go there.
But it is a fairly iconic Chicago skyline building.
Oh yeah.
I feel like one of the top 3 at this point in life. And so your other 2 choices really would have been
Hancock and Sears Tower.
Right, exactly. And I don't know. Okay, we'll get back. Put a pin in that.
Yeah, we got a good half hour before we get there.
The nice little thing there where they dropped the magazine just long enough to show you that it was full of writing.
Yeah. So.
You know what I mean? And I love that Joe Gipp.
Yeah.
I know his full name because car thieves always tell me their full names. I love that he's looking up with kind of a rooting interest, right? Like, he wants to see them get away.
Yeah. After Mr. Big gave him a good old punch across the chin or whatnot. He's like, yeah, fuck this dude. Still muscling him around.
That's clearly a matte painting.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
too
not
fuzzy.
Maybe it's not clear to people watching at home.
Yeah.
But,
or at least it's maybe not so much a matte paint, but just trying to optically composite the two things together. It's just not
right. It's like a Photoshop deal.
They didn't. They probably just used 35mm film for both of them, and so then when you reprinted it, it lost a lot of resolution. They didn't shoot like super high resolution film stock to kind of keep it kind of fine grain texture and everything like that. So. Uh-oh. Yeah. He's got the eyes, man. That's how he got the part.
The Philadelphia order.
Philadelphia.
Right.
They can't get their own cars.
No, nobody in Philadelphia can get a car. It sounds so good, but when you really think about it, it's like, what are they talking about?
Right.
What is this business? I don't understand.
National chain of carjacking thieves. I mean, that stuff makes sense when it's like dealing like a drug operation. But you're not going to put that in this movie. This ain't Lethal Weapon.
Right. I mean, that'd be a little much even for Touchstone, right?
It's a little much for... Right, what? This has got to be PG-13, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So now we've come to.
Probably.
Yeah, they were allowed their one fuck in the movie. Oh, there's two actually. Now we've come to the silver dollar room. And as a child, this was my favorite scene in the movie.
Sure.
I'm a music guy. I was way more so when I had two vocal cords that worked. Interrupt your little concert. All of the exteriors of this were shot. The Silver Dollar Room, I think, was a real place in Toronto. The insides, though, they filmed in locally. Okay. So this is actually Fitzgerald's nightclub in Brewton, which is not far from Oak Park area. Okay. It is in the suburbs. So this is actually a real music club in Brewton, Illinois. Pretty sure it's still in operation today. And admittedly, I don't know a lot about the blues.
Sure. And
the blues subculture. But I understand the basic principles, right?
Sure.
And I do really love this idea that you gotta sing the blues in order to get out of the blues club, right?
It's 6615 Roosevelt Road in Berwyn. It's open right now as we speak.
Is it right? So we can go get a burger there and listen to some cover act?
Sure.
The way that she looks up as if she's proud of herself for making a rhyme. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like this little thing. The confidence is growing.
Yeah.
And in my mind, these people are making this up on the spot as a child, right?
Sure.
I don't know how much time went into this.
Sure.
Now, Anthony Rapp's actually a singer.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly, Elisabeth Shue can sing, despite her just a few minutes ago saying she could not. I've always had the girls probably did. I love that Joe Gipp is all into it. He's rooting for them. I've always, prior to losing my voice, been a performer.
Mm-hmm.
And it was always a dream of mine to just, I don't know, be on a stage and sing.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, at this point, I'm not much younger than old Sarah there. in
the time this thing was released.
And like even then, I always just wanted to be on stage and sing. And now I can't. And I'm very depressed about it. But this was always my favorite part of the movie.
Sure.
Like I always just wanted to go up and do that. And like this is the ultimate amateur hour, right?
Yeah.
Like clearly anybody off the street can get on stage and sing with a band. Yeah. And
I mean, Chicago is a blues town like hell, man.
Right. And everything about this just fit, and everything about it hit so in the right spot for me. Yeah, so this was I don't know if this is actually still open for business in Toronto. And I want to say they do an establishing shot here of the city. Okay, so...
Yeah, no one looks real shoddy.
All of this is not at all... This vantage point doesn't exist.
No.
Now the L train might. I can't tell where the cutoff is. The L train might be in the real shot.
This is definitely...
Everything above the train...
The black levels differ.
Is not real. So,
Because for current context, it's right across from Millennium Park.
Right. The Associates building as it was known then. So now they're talking about it, right?
Yeah.
So the iconic Triangle building.
Diamond,
whatever. Yeah, Diamond building. Mike Todwell. That building is not in a position where you would see it from an angle like this.
Yeah, no.
It's part of the skyline, yes, but it faces the lake.
Yeah.
So if you were to be looking at it as such, you'd be standing in Lake Michigan. It is right on the edge of Millennium Park that exists now. Millennium Park didn't exist then.
At this point in time, it basically all this here is like just not an elevated train, but just there's just a train depot coming in down near there, kind of subterranean. And
it's all underground.
It was just like all undeveloped land at that point in time.
I mean, there may have very well just been an open park or something.
Yeah. But the L probably you wouldn't have the L until like maybe a block west of there when you get back like State Street and Clark and everything.
Right, which is behind it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what she's up to.
Oh my God, we forgot about Brenda, who is blind as a bat
and scared out of her wits
in the bus station.
She can find the Coke machine.
Well, that's all you need. It's all you need in life. There's the old Illinois Lottery sign back there, but on the back, which is the rainbow. Pot of gold with the rainbow, which, fun fact, is still our Illinois Lottery logo today. Coffee machine.
This is just living a nightmare. The fucking rat. With the red eyes, too.
The red eyes, yeah.
The coffee machine.
Yeah, I know. I got very excited.
That's the merchandise mart, it almost looks like. Not saying that it's Chicago, it kind of looks similar to that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is still Toronto.
Yeah.
This is a real L station.
Chicago's. Maybe.
No, it is.
No, I'm just saying the other shot may have been Chicago if they kind of started the sequence.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
They might have done all in one shot just to get the car and everything continuity-wise.
Yeah, this is a real L station. It's been remodeled since then.
Thankfully.
I don't recall. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I've got it fairly...
You get the shaft in these things. Carjacker Joe has always had a smile on his face.
You were right. That scene just going in was shot in Chicago.
You got a shooting location.
Yeah, I do.
Website.
I love him so much. Again, I'm also a little jealous because he's the star of my favorite musical. Playing opposite, he's one of the two main lead characters. The other one that isn't him is like my dream role, the one that I have wanted to play for almost my whole life.
Walked into the Beat It music video now.
Yeah, no shit.
The red jackets, the bandanas. They know.
It's the Crips and the Bloods, right?
The hair on the guy with the black jacket is the guy on the left. He's got some kind of like flock of seagulls hairstyle going. Not that guy.
Although that one guy, a hell of a flat top there.
That guy over there.
with the front down?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a flat top, it's a beanie he's wearing. I remember being like 8 years old thinking, like, this movie's full of cuss words, especially this part.
Yeah.
The one guy's got his chain around his neck like Hercules. Yeah. The guy in the back there.
Yeah.
That's gotta hurt like a son of a bitch.
Yeah, there we go.
There it is. That's the line of the movie. Now, at the time, in a PG-13,
Yeah.
you could get away with 1, maybe 2 fucks, as long as
It wasn't the act of
fucking
intercourse.
correct.
Yes.
Like if you say the word that doesn't mean to have sex with,
Yes.
then you can get away with 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that's an immediate R.
Yeah.
Like, let's fuck
Yeah.
means R. But fuck you, that's PG-13, as long as you only do it
Yeah.
once or maybe
Yeah.
twice. I love that they're just carrying him. I don't know where this was filmed, but
Well, they had Chicago police cars out there, so I don't know if they greeted for Toronto or... I don't know.
wounded in a gang fight is... It is... I like the establishing shot, 10:40 p.m.
That's good.
Because now we know that the parents are coming home at 1.
Yeah.
It's kind of a John Ratzenberger type,
A
but
little bit. Stunt double. Stand in. Ain't taking no fucking check. Check these earrings she's got going on. Those are deadly weapons.
this is also the line of the movie, right? You slip me the cash, I'll slip you the wiener. The amount of times in my life that I've said, 1 stitch, is innumerable.
Oh, he is fucking passing out on the job.
1 stitch. Anytime that there is a minor cut or abrasion in my life, I will always say, 1 stitch. I've never had a stitch in my life. Not one. Not 1 stitch. Have you ever had stitches?
Sure. I don't believe so.
I still think it's super weird that she's dressed like Thor. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
a little bit.
she did rattle off some of the other ones, like Captain America and
Yeah.
stuff, which all would have worked. She didn't name any of the ones that wouldn't have worked. So I
Yeah.
guess they had some play, like you were saying. But
Yeah. She could use a nap.
To this day, I have no idea how smelling salts work.
No.
Look at the eyes. He's so in love.
Yeah.
I am Brad.
Oh, yeah. There he is.
Love it. Like they slapped a sign on a door, X-ray, do not enter. Like a regular just door, no entry. $50 at that time was a decent amount of money.
Yeah.
A new tire right now is around $200, I think. So, I feel like that tracks, right? I mean, I guess I can get out the inflation calculator.
Yeah,
let's do it for fun.
Yeah.
I love the "you think." That's such a good callback.
Thing is, they have no idea where Dawson's garage is. They've never given an address.
$50 in 1987 is $138 in today's
That
money.
sounds
So
right.
$50 is actually cheap for a tire. Unless it's, a used tire or something. Like you can go plenty of places and get a tire for under $138. But
Yeah. Yeah, like you're saying, this has got a hot soundtrack.
It really does.
I grabbed this.
I wonder if it was on vinyl. Look at the...
I don't think there was a soundtrack section on the soundtrack album section on Wikipedia. Well, Entrada did an expanded version of it, apparently with all Michael Kamen score. I didn't realize he did the one on this.
Michael Kamen did the score?
Yeah. Apparently includes all the other songs on this thing. It doesn't mention any other releases.
How perfect is it that she walks into a frat house and everybody recognizes her as the one from the Playboy?
Oh, yeah. You should not be saying that.
No, definitely not. I love the little chin, like, oh, let me peek one more time. He's got a little Paul Rudd in him.
A little bit, yeah.
And that guy's got to be 40.
Yeah, the one on the right. At least the one on the right.
What a great movie prop that would be to have, right? They had to make up a bunch of these.
Yeah. Apparently, Liz Shue kept one of them.
Did she really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, if I ever meet her. Not to say that that's the first thing I'm going to ask
Sure,
for.
but it's on the list. It's on the short list.
I love the saline, the glass saline bottle that's upside down there. He's going to chug the popcorn. Unbelievable.
Okay, you can get the soundtrack on general platforms, but it's not as expanded.
You said somebody did do a fancy one?
Entrada. I don't know if it's still available or not. But
On CD or...
CD, yeah.
Okay.
They all do CDs. But then you got the Percy Sledge song, the Babysitting Blues, but everything else just came in tracks. It would seem.
Because I would want...
It's copyright 2015, so I don't know if this thing ever got a release back in the day. This thing might be out of print.
Yeah, I would want, the... And then she kissed me, and
Right.
And the...
There's one going for $260 right now.
Jesus, what is that?
I don't know which one this is. This might be in the trot if it's out of print.
By quote-unquote going for, you mean that's what they've listed it as. I don't think anybody's bidding on it, right?
Well, no, it's a marketplace
okay.
option on Amazon.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, there's no vinyl thing listed, so it almost seems like it was just a late release or something.
Like, I would want this song, the one from when they're driving down the highway at the beginning.
Right. Doing it at every frat party. All these guys look like they're 35.
I know, it's weird. It's also weird that she's, engaging and not trying to put an end to the fraternizing.
Brenda's still out there.
Right.
Maybe bleeding in a gutter somewhere.
Well, she knows she's at the train station.
Well, still. She has no idea what's going on with her right now.
Right. And there's no cell phones. You can't communicate.
It's been 4 hours now.
She said I'd be there in a half an hour.
Yeah. That's when it was daylight out, and now it's 11 p.m.
It's got to be at least 11 now.
Again, if it's winter, it's about dark about 5:30 p.m.
Right, sure. And they do a great job here of having this sad song playing while he's watching the one he's lusting after, right?
Yeah.
He cares about those things deeply.
She ain't bad.
Well, she looks like a hooker.
Not as much as the one earlier. There's a little more gaudy and whatnot.
Yeah, the one on the street.
Uh-oh.
Love that look. Little does she know that he really wouldn't want to go to bed with her in real life, but, that's fine.
Right.
That's fine. He's a good actor.
Oh, yeah.
She sees it, right?
Yeah, too.
You see it?
Yeah.
She had that look like, I know why you're upset.
Yeah.
God damn it, that's acting.
Yeah.
With the eyes.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Bohunk.
That's another one that I've seen. You big dumb bohunk.
Again. That's Chicago for certain. That's going down to Lower Wacker.
That's correct. Lower Wacker, which at the time, so Lower Wacker runs right along the river.
Oh, yeah.
And there's an upper Wacker and a lower. So it's like bunk beds for highways.
Yes.
And Lower Wacker is where all of the shitty,
it was
seedy, homeless. I mean, it was bad. It was
litter
rough.
all over the place.
Rough. So, I'm not sure exactly where this is. I don't know if anyone's been able to pinpoint it. At least that first pull-off was somewhere on Lower Wacker. This might be a set.
Yeah.
The inside's definitely a set.
Yeah.
You didn't even comment. I'm wearing my Dawson's Garage t-shirt today.
I didn't notice for fucking sake. He's so proto Paul Rudd.
I know, like it they've just kind of, copied that look over the years.
Yeah.
Beautiful blue eyes.
Oh, yeah. He's even driving a Jeep just like Paul Rudd in Halloween 6.
There you go.
That's what Tommy Doyle was doing in between things.
Tommy Doyle, Paul Rudd, not Tommy Doyle, Anthony Michael Hall.
Right.
It's full circle.
One's a little higher on the scale than the other one.
Full circle here. Why would Mr. Dawson be working at his garage at 11 p.m. on a Friday or Saturday night? Here we go. I don't know what this big, WWE production entrance is, but... And here she sees her icon, who's really just Vincent D'Onofrio. Had to be one of his earlier roles, right?
I was looking at what else was coming out around the same time. Full Metal Jacket came out like a month before this. He is probably at least like 30, 40 pounds heavier in that film. He got really in shape for this.
Yeah, I mean, he looks great.
Oh.
It's a good parallel to the Brenda.
Yeah.
And hers was hot dogs and cash, and his.
Yeah.
Ain't that the truth? Why you're not acting like yourself. That's got to be worth $5, right?
Yeah.
I like that each of them contribute something to
the problems.
Like this is the picture perfect way to draw it up, right?
Yeah.
No paperwork, no signatures, no. What an adult thing to say, right? This whole concept of checks is so weird, right?
Yeah.
Like, nobody writes checks anymore.
No.
You'll be home long before 1. Again with the Joe Gip. Ooh, she found her glasses. I don't know how she saw that. She's blind.
Right.
How'd you spot that? They're still laughing about the rat. There's the guy with the gun, who's still there after several hours. He's back home in his house. Great callback there.
Oh, good.
And like, what a way to make things go from like the roller coaster of laughing and
freakouts.
Right, like the drama to the comedy. Le Port Bleu. So cool. Brad Whitford. He was on the West Wing, right? Like, that was kind of his big claim to fame.
Know.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know where. Okay, so how ridiculous is this? He was able to spot this car street parking at a fancy French restaurant on a Friday night in Chicago.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, there she is.
There it is again. Nice.
Miss Playboy. That's one of my most coveted movie props. I don't know how many they made, but... Sesame Plexer. You're stealing, kid. Chocolate all over the gloves. So gross. Or twice in one night. Great line.
Yeah.
Yeah, disrupt the whole thing. Like, this looks like such a fancy place,
Oh, yeah.
right? Keep in mind, let's remember,
Right.
she's 17.
Right.
And so is he, apparently. Because they're in high school together.
I'm gonna make some shit up. He was born in 1959, so he's not even 30. He don't go, Lord.
Well, yeah, he's 28. And he's supposed to be 17.
He looks 10 years older than that.
Right, and he's supposed to be 18.
Right.
At what point are the employees of the restaurant coming over to figure out what's going on? Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Sir, can you please not engage with these children? Children, why are you in this fancy restaurant?
Right.
It's 11 o'clock. Where are your parents? You're not dressed properly.
I mean, how do you dump her for the other girl. Like, ah. Has he not seen the Playboy issue? Does he not have some things rolling around in his head? Or is he just a prick? That's nice. Really want to smack him right across the lips.
He's such the voice of reason, and he will.
There we go.
Now they're going to come over and see what the commotion is? Mr. Boutonniere and Calla Lily on your vest? Great mustache. I love the double take. At the toy store.
Of course.
This is also Toronto. It is kind of cool that they had her have a moment of childhood, you know, like, it does make sense, right? Like, she's a kid. And there's a badly photoshopped again.
Yeah, it's not, they're not doing a good job on these.
And
that's even worse.
And it's not that it's blurry and fuzzy.
It's because, I mean, all the black levels are completely incongruous.
But it's also just
faded out.
For me, it's the geography, right?
The geography's bad, but
like, they keep showing the same building from the same angle.
It's the fact that, for me, it's just the technical merits. It's like terrible. If you're going to do that many shots, you'd at least get someone who knows how to do it the right way.
Like, I guess the entire point of having this building is to have it look like Chicago.
Yeah.
It's a very unique building. So here, it just says Associates Center, which is the name that it opened under.
Yeah. Now Crane's communication building,
right?
Yeah,
it was
like that.
Smurfett Stone for a hot minute. Crane's Communication. Crane's is a very popular business. Magazine. Publication. They have publications all over the United States regarding local business items. Right?
Yeah.
It's a great magazine if you love business. And that's their headquarters now. The headquarters moved into this building, and they renamed the building after it. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's, you know, like we were saying, it's a very iconic, you know, it's a unique looking picture, building.
Yeah.
Really stands out, you know, because of the slanted roof. There's long been a theory that it was designed to be, what's the word? Yonic, which is the female version of phallic. Like all of the skyscrapers in Chicago are phallic. They look like cocks, but they made one to look like a vagina.
Okay.
So I think the sometimes it's called the vagina building. Not by me.
Sure. And the only film that I've seen that actually shot anything inside it, where you actually saw the slope of the entire interior, was there was like one scene in Raw Deal with Schwarzenegger. Schwarzenegger's not in that scene, but they just shot like one scene in some office in there.
Right. That was actually filmed there.
Yeah, like a year before this. But all the stuff they did for this is all soundstage stuff. Right. Even when they actually get on, when they get on the fucking roof, it's obviously a set. They didn't fly an 8-year-old girl on the fucking side of a fucking skyscraper.
So there you'll again see some bad photoshopping if you know the geography. To Sarah's left, that looks bad, but
it looks like they probably did like a rear screen projection on some of these instead. So they don't look quite so... It's a little washed out, but it doesn't look as bad as the other stuff.
On one scene, you saw the Hancock building, John Hancock building.
Yeah, it's completely wrong.
Which you cannot see from this building at all.
That's further north.
Again, you've only got 3 to 4 buildings at this point that are iconically Chicago.
Yeah.
So, like, I assume that's the Sears Tower in the background, which you also would not be able to see from this vantage point. You have to, if you're going to fake it, you need to fake it with things that people recognize, right?
Right. Almost looked like Water Tower Center. If we get an angle on it again.
The angle of this is so much steeper than the actual building. It's weird, right?
Probably, yeah.
Like,
Just
this almost looks like it's
effect.
going straight down.
Yeah.
But the actual building is pretty angled.
Yeah.
Love that they all take a different direction. That's so good. And then they sneak into the same one. All the fur coats.
Big in the 80s, man.
Yes. She wouldn't take off her own coat first? I'm sorry, her grandfather's coat? She's still got her gloves on, like...
Yeah. Boiling in the air.
You really are sticking out like a sore thumb, girlfriend.
Oh, Jesus.
Lovey's got his burgundy cummerbund. He looks like I did when I worked at the movie theater.
Yeah.
Only without the coat. The burgundy cummerbunds were reserved for the leaders, the shift leaders.
Yeah.
And when I first started, the managers wore like a greenish color.
Okay.
So everyone wore black. The shift leaders wore burgundy, and then I love this guy. And then the managers wore tuxedos also, with kind of a weird green.
Nice.
He's so like just.
Oh yeah, so intense
put out
all the time, and so sour.
He's got to worry about sending 2 cars to Philadelphia.
Oh.
What a great shot. How ridiculous is it that she's outside this window? You know, we were talking about, it was originally the Associate Center and currently Cranes and whatever. Some people would say the Vagina Building. I have always, my entire life, called it the Adventures in Babysitting Building.
Sure.
And I realize that that's, like, sometimes I forget what the name of it actually, it's changed over the years, right? Smurfit Stone is actually the one that I remember. I think it was that for the most in my lifetime, or at least when I was paying attention.
Sure.
Like that was the Hancock building that they showed, which would not be anywhere.
Yeah, I was kind of knowing, like, between the different angles that none of the buildings line up.
Right.
It's all just completely different backdrops.
But you know what? That's fine. Like, if that's supposed to be the Sears Tower, then so what? I don't know if that's the Aon building.
Yeah.
The Prudential building, one of those. Joe Gips. Gip with a G. It's a hot blue coat he's got on.
Yeah.
All the notes for the Philadelphia order. Aw, Joe. Shailene, or whatever her name was. He needs some help. Great.
Yeah. Hot suit he's got, though.
It really is. Like,
He's got a power tie going, too.
everything about this guy is...
Like, spot on, yeah. Big 80s business corporate mob boss deal.
Oh, you get him, Joe.
Yeah. I'd like to look up more what he did, if he got any more of these types of, like, roles. John Chandler. Passed away in 2010.
He died?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you're not...
No,
you're
no.
looking at the mob boss.
Mob boss dude, yeah.
I thought Joe Kip died.
No,
Kip.
I'm not looking at him.
That was the Wrigley building that they just drove by. I love that Brenda's now waiting outside the bus station as if she was told.
She's
like,
been driven out of the joint,
I'm
man.
on my way.
She
You don't let her sit up. Notice they've got the 10-year-old in the front, which may or may not have been illegal at the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, see, this shot doesn't exist.
Yeah,
all of those
that's
buildings,
like clusterfuck.
all of those buildings don't go in that order.
That's by Congress Parkway.
That actually looked like the best one of all the Photoshops.
Yeah.
But if you're from Chicago, you go, no, that's not right.
And they got a selected filmography for the guy on Wikipedia. But best things I found were like Trancers 2, Phantasm 3, and Carnosaur 2. Some bit parts of some like B movies here and there. Weird. It looked like he would have gotten a lot of work in this sort of typecast
Yeah, agreed.
role, whatnot.
We'll go 80. I say that almost all the time. There's 290, the Eisenhower.
that's the right way.
that they're going the right direction. Yeah. Put on Brad's pajamas, dumbass.
She's so freaked out.
The pasta's still on the counter. This is what I think of every time I spill the pasta. You're right, that is kind of a modern kitchen for 1987. Is that also a Cadillac?
Eldorado.
Yeah. So clearly they've got some money.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, does it make sense then that he wouldn't have had more than 50 cents in his pocket? Do kids of rich people have cash? She did a great job.
Yeah.
Feet,
Right on the money.
right on the, yeah, perfect. She's got her feet on the sofa though in her shoes, which
Yeah.
I don't like. It looks like a wig. I'm sure it's not, but... What do we got? Huey Lewis in the news. Sports. We got a Ferrari.
Corvette.
We got Cubs.
Chicago Bulls.
Not the Bears, though.
Maybe the Dolphins with that color scheme.
Might have been Denver.
Denver, maybe, yeah.
She actually looks like a kid there. Aw, I'm your friend. Although, he just got friend-zoned.
Oh, that's no good.
Essentially, right? Yeah, he didn't have a chance to make it with that frat girl.
No.
Yeah, they've got money.
Oh, yeah.
Big money. Oh, and here he comes.
There he is.
The blue Jeep. Paul Rudd. Tommy Doyle. Why did she have that with her? Like, here, this is the one thing. You never saw her with the roller skate.
No, unless it was in the bag for some
Or
reason.
in her coat, or, right, something. Like, at no point did she even suggest that she had them with her.
Yeah.
I like it. I love that they're looking out the window. Now we've got the reprise of the opening theme. And the ultimate concession.
Yeah.
He's admitted defeat.
Yeah.
He tipped over his king. And what a great way to pause on the ending. It is... The word adventure is...
Vincent Philip did not for you. Never seen that one
Yeah, I haven't either.
before.
Bradley Whitford. Ron Canada's a good name. The word adventure in the title is so perfect.
Yeah.
Calvin Levels is a great name. Yeah, I'm wondering if there's anybody else in here that we...
Yeah, I was wondering for maybe stunt people, maybe? I don't know, there's not that many stunts.
Or just people that we didn't recognize, you know?
Yeah, someone maybe.
Southside Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
I love this song. Yeah, I need to find some sort of soundtrack or something. I don't know.
Hunt down the tracks individually, maybe.
Yeah, I guess if I have to. But like they don't make movies like this anymore, and it really is frustrating.
Well, it's the weird thing. One, they tried doing a TV series of this and it didn't go anywhere. They did a pilot and it failed.
Well, sure.
Then I think it was 7-8 years ago they did a remake on the Disney Plus or something like that, Disney Channel.
Well,
I saw half a trailer and it didn't look any bit worth a damn.
I just don't understand why movies, like everything is a remake and a sequel.
Right.
Not to say that this is an original idea. When you really break it down,
Right,
you know,
but
like
it's not based on IP that it was pre-existing.
right. You know, they're just. I feel like there's such this lack of, like every movie in the '80s was a movie like this. It feels like, right? It was some sort of.
Well, they had such a wide spectrum of different demographics and things to cater to different types of people. There was almost no time in the '80s where there wasn't something planned that could have appealed to you.
Right. And I feel like, and a movie such as this, which is, you know, a coming of age, it's a teenager, it's an advent. I don't like to use the word adventure because it's in the title.
Yeah.
But you know, it's the extraordinary circumstances.
Yeah.
That, you know, overcoming one ridiculous thing after another type movie.
Yeah.
And I just, this prototype
Yeah.
just is kind of been abandoned.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating.
You don't really see this demographic catered to in films anymore, really. The kind of PG-13 kind of teenage thing, but it can kind of play to kind of a family dynamic thing. And really, it's been kind of eaten up by all the like the animated films and everything. There's nothing like this that comes out.
Right, or the Marvel universe or something.
Yeah, it's all like big budget tentpole stuff. It's nothing like a nice, I don't know if you'd even call this like a mid-budget for the 80s type of film. Like the mid-budget stuff has kind of just disappeared entirely. Even though instead of baking $250-300 million on constant tentpole big CGI films, you could make a dozen of these types of films and get a lot of bang from it. Because now it seems like they kind of just make that the horror movie stuff.
Right.
Or just like they can make that for $10 million and bank a whole bunch of money and that's it. But they don't imply that the other genres could do similar things to these days.
It's like you're either this independent, like Long Legs or something, which is a horror, but
something, yeah.
Right, like these small time things that come out of nowhere just to win Oscars.
Yeah.
Or like you were saying, it's a tentpole.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like the whole, there's a whole big section in that Disney War book about films like this.
Yeah.
That, you know, it was like, oh, well, we can just put up
a
handful of millions and...
That's what the Touchstone and the Hollywood Pictures thing, they were kind of just dealing with a lot of stuff that... Certainly they had some stuff that were probably a bit more high budget stuff. But
I love that he's still out there.
But typically they're like maybe like $10 million films that maybe they're dramas, maybe they're comedies, maybe there's a couple action things in there, but they kept the diversification of the content they were kind of producing.
Well, thanks for indulging us.
Yeah.
And we forgot to talk about Chris Columbus. But that's fine.
His directorial debut, and he did a very fine job of it.
Yes.
Made a big, long career off of it.
Absolutely. Happy birthday, Chris.
Happy birthday.
After all this.
Thank you for a wonderful film.
All right. Love you.
Bye.
See ya.